What is going on, beautiful people of YouTube? It is Mesa Sean, where opinions are my own, and we're back at it with some Destiny beta. And this is going to be my class setup. As you hopefully watched my previous video on the Warlock, there is no best class setup because there's just too much to use in this game, and you will find out that you need to find what's right for you. But we're going to go over my class and what I find useful. And since we're capped out at level 8, we're just going to be looking at the Striker class. You basically bump up into the full game to a different type of Titan when you hit level 15. So right now it's considered a Striker. So we're just going to go over what's available to us and what I'm using in both PvP and also in co-op. So the Titan as a class, your specialty is going to be heavy armor and also recovering fast from damage. And that's relating also to PvP, just like in PVE. And one thing I note is that you got to choose your armor carefully, all the different upgrades you get, whether it's from your Vanguard at the tower or unlocks, because certain pieces of armor, you don't always want to pick the ones that have the highest defense, that give you that highest number at your total defense rate. And the reason why I say that is because when you go through, and when we go through my class, there's certain pieces of armor that are considered uncommon, meaning you unlock them or you found them somewhere. And with those, they may have a lower defense than, say, other pieces of armor, but they grant you some sort of extra ability or bonus, whether that's a quicker cooldown time of grenades or something like that. When we get into all the abilities, really none of them, or actually none of them at all, are going to pertain to your guns. Your abilities for the Warlock, let's say for example, a lot of those abilities help you with your gun skill, and basically things like reloading, damage, extra attack, different sights, things like that. None of the abilities for the Titan affect your weapons at all. It's geared just towards yourself as a class, armor, healing faster, and your special abilities. Alright, so let's jump into it. Okay, so here we're looking at guns, and my favorite gun, as always, is the Cydonia AR3. But that's strictly my favorite gun for multiplayer, okay? Now, I didn't know this, and a lot of people other didn't, so I'm going to tell you this now. I unlocked this when I was in the Warlock class, right? When I came over to my Titan, I thought I was going to have to re-unlock this gun. You don't have to. What you do is when you're in your Warlock class, go to the tower, store it in your vault, log out, log back in as your Titan, and then you can go get the gun from the vault and use it on your Titan. Not 100% sure if you got to be at a certain level, because I know to actually unlock the Cydonia, I had to be a high level, and I think when I got it, realized this and got it from the vault, I picked it up when I was like a level 6 or something like that. But for PvE, the other guns I use, there's a Cydonia AR2 that I picked up. It feels more like a submachine gun because it's got a high rate of fire, but the range is horrible and it has a little bit more recoil, so I use it in PvE sometimes when I want to do close quarters types, you know, spray and play, whatever. The other two guns I just use is the Galahad, just because they have nice iron sights, a little more range, but they're a little bit slower on the reload, and also just in terms of stability, not so great. I don't mess with the pulse weapons at all because I am just terrible at burst fire guns, but that's a whole other story. Now for I'm not going to go through all the sniper rifles because I'm not good with sniping in general, but I use the Huracan, am I saying that right? LR3. That's my favorite gun, and if you look into details, you can upgrade this one. Right now I've got the Taxis SL S15 scope, but there's another scope you can get that increases your range a lot, but just decreases the stability and the reload a little bit. And then you got a performance bonus you can upgrade, which kills this weapon. Kills with this weapon grant bonus reserve ammo, so you get a little extra ammo. And then there's another upgrade for an attack. So I basically stick with the guns that are in the green here, which means I can upgrade them. But when I go into multiplayer, I'm going to go with one of these shotguns. And I'm still not good with the shotguns, or I haven't found a shotgun that's good. As you can see, my shotguns are pretty low in attack. And also for my heavy weapon, I'm still sticking with the Darius C. That's what I love from my Warlock class, and I still use it. And for upgrades, I go with the aggressive ballistics, which gives you more of a predictable recoil, gives you a little more damage, but it still shortens your range and a ton of recoil. But I don't use this for long distance. This is strictly when I'm in corridors and I'm on the moon or something like that, and I just want to spray people, okay? Then my other upgrade is focus fire. So when you ADS, aim down sight, it's going to fire a little bit slower, which is good. It helps with the recoil, but you're going to get some additional damage out of it. And the third one, increase the weapons attack. I have not upgraded that just yet, but just now I did. I didn't even know I could upgrade it, so you just watched it. And that's it for my guns. Okay, so looking at armor here again, guys, you want to use what would give you the highest defense, but not in all cases. So here for this, my helmet, it's a 30. And there's another helmet I have here that's 39, but I'm sticking with the 30 because if you look down at the bottom, it gives me strength of +9, but more importantly, grenade hits restore my melee energy, so that's kind of important. Same thing with my my armor. It gives me increased reload speed with auto rifles. Okay, I do have some other armors that are higher than 21, but I want that ability. For my chest armor, I don't have anything special yet, or actually I have one, but I can't use it. Got to be level 9. We're capped at level 8, so I'm just sticking with the 43. Same thing with the leg armor. I don't have anything special. And that's pretty much it for armor, guys. Just really read the descriptions, and usually the green ones have some sort of special ability for them, okay? Okay, so let's go into the abilities of the Titan class, and again, this is the Striker subclass, so it means it's below level 15, but don't worry about that for Destiny Beta. And again, the Titan is going to be the one out of the 3 characters that's got the heaviest armor, the quickest recovery, and the slowest agility, so he's a little slow on the battlefield. So you start off with a flashbang grenade. I don't really find it really too useful, but I've been hit with it plenty of times. Doesn't really give that much damage. Pulse grenade I'm using right now, I'm not really crazy about because I feel the radius is not very large, but really looking forward to the lightning grenade because that's going to be a sticky grenade, so I see that being very helpful for those pesky vehicles on the moon, but also at the same time when it comes to if the enemies, let's say, are capturing a flag on control, throw it near them, it'll stick to a wall or surface and start shooting bolts of lightning at them. So the next set of abilities is going to be all your halo jumping. I'm not going to go into that. Now, Fist of Havoc, that's your supercharge ability, and wonderful in PvE. In PvP, before you start upgrading it, you got to be really careful with it, because if you're not close enough to the enemies and you don't take them all out with it, you can get killed pretty fast. So only use it if you pretty much know that they're going to be within that radius. Once you upgrade it for your first upgrade, you're going to leave basically a wake of damage, okay? And the third one, it looks like you can aim it a little better, because right now you pretty much you sprint forward and you just got to kind of judge from there where what the wake is going to be. But here it looks like once you go up in the air, you're going to be able to aim it a little bit better. And then the last one I didn't even look at yet. It says Fist of Havoc unleashes a wave of devastating energy which travels along the ground. So I'm assuming that the wave that once you hit the floor and that wake comes out, it's going to start traveling. So that's pretty useful. Next up is going to be all your melees, which I'm not good with meleeing at all. I constantly feel like I'm getting meleeed because they're lunging at me from 10 feet, but maybe it's because I haven't upgraded them all. So that's kind of self-explanatory. But I did want to go over this. This is the Titan Codex 1, 2, 3. Now I think once you start unlocking these, you're going to be able to just choose one out of the 3. So Titan Codex 1, it just says training focused on battle recovery and toughness. Now when you go to Titan Codex 2, you're going to take a hit on your recovery, but your agility is going to go up. So you're going to be a little bit faster. Then if you go to Titan Codex 3, your armor takes a hit, your recovery nothing happens to, but your agility does get boosted on this. So I think it's not going to be one of these things that stacks. I think you'll have to choose one of these 3. So now your next here, we're going to look at Headstrong, and that basically for your supercharge, for your Fist of Havoc, it's your sprinting is going to increase the leap distance. Because right now, when you leap to actually, you fly up and then you slam on the floor and it leaves the wake, it's kind of short. So once you get Headstrong, you actually can increase that distance. Aftershocks is basically going to help you with your grenades, okay? It's going to increase the duration of all your pulse, lightning, grenades, and your aftermath. Transfusion, that basically means that after you kill someone with your melee, with the Storm Fist, you're going to immediately trigger your health regeneration. So that's going to be really helpful. Now, here again, we're going to have Titan Codex 4, 5, and 6, and you can see the stats here. No need to really go over them in depth, but 5, armor is going to take a hit, recovery goes up tremendously, but your agility takes a hit. With 6, it looks like your armor takes a little hit, recovery gets cut in half, but your agility goes super up. So what I'm thinking is you're going to be able to pick one of these 3 and then one of these 3. So you could stack something from here with that. That's what I think. Okay, so in the last section, so your first one's going to be Unstoppable, which just means you're harder to kill while using Fist of Havoc. And that is helpful because I've been killed many times because I haven't hit the ground yet to leave my damage wake. So that's going to be very helpful. Shoulder Charge. So after sprinting for a short time, you just press R1 and then you're going to unleash a devastating melee attack. I have no idea how that's going to be because I'm not good with meleeing right now. The last one is Juggernaut. So after sprinting for a short time, you gain a protective shield. You know, guys, again, this is Destiny beta, so who knows if these are all going to unlock. I mean, I put some pretty good time into the Titan, and I'm still only up to here yet. But anyway, and then your last one here, Illumination. Seal the subclass locking previous choices. So that basically just means, as again, this is the Striker, the Titan subclass. You're going to move into a second class after you finish the Striker class, which I don't know the name of right now, but for our purposes with Destiny beta, don't worry about it. And that pretty much wraps it, guys, on the Titan class. And as you know, I'm more of a fan of PvP type games as opposed to PvE. So what I find is I tend to like the Titan more in co-op and in doing missions with your friends and just playing solo and co-op, exploring and things like that. But when it comes to multiplayer and PvP, I'm still preferring the Warlock. And it's mainly because of the increased agility and also how your abilities do affect your weapons with the Warlock. So that's it, guys. I'm going to be working on the Hunter next, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop me that like. If you haven't already, follow me on the Twitter at MesaSean, and also check out my live stream, twitch.tv/MesaSean. And that's it, guys. I am out of here.